So Alabama was 9-4 last year. They lost to Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Oklahoma, and then to Michigan in the vaunted ReliaQuest Bowl.
Of course.
9.5 is their over-under this season. This is a loaded roster. And what I found really interesting when I was going through the Alabama stuff, they are bringing back a lot more than I think we are used to.
Yeah, they all went to Mater Dei.
They all went to Mater Dei.
Yeah, I think both of their corners went to Mater Dei, right? Xavier Brown and Domani Jackson.
There is just so much back in year 2 now under Kalen DeBoer. Plus, he is reuniting with his longtime assistant, offensive coordinator, Ryan Grubb, who's going to come in, he's going to call the offense. We've seen that combination be really, really good in the past. Really good in the past. This was like his right-hand man for 13 years or something like that. So I think given the roster, given what they're now bringing back to Tuscaloosa, anything short of a playoff appearance would be almost inexcusable with this. I have some burning questions, though.
Okay.
2 in particular. The most obvious of which, quarterback. Which quarterback emerges from, I guess, the 3-horse race that they've got between Ty Simpson and Austin Mack and Keelan Russell? By all accounts, it looks like it's going to be Ty Simpson, at least to start. But there is some steam on Austin Mack. Keelan Russell obviously steps in as a very highly touted prospect. So what they get at the quarterback position, I think, is where you go first. And then secondly, I do have some questions about the pass rush, and I've seen some others talk about this. Our friend Owen Barnes, who does the Barnes on Bama podcast, he talked about this on his Alabama preview as well. Like, you like guys like LT Overton. I mean, there's plenty of talent along that defensive line, but if you give the quarterbacks as much time as they were giving them last season, they throw down the field a little bit more than you'd want. 102nd last year in air yards allowed per target, despite having the 9th best defense per the SP+. This was an area that I think they were trying to shore up, that they want to shore up. I don't know if they fully did. They are legit loaded at all 3 levels of the defense from a talent standpoint, but the pass rush, again, if I'm splitting hairs, that's something that I look at, especially with what all is returning in the SEC this year. I mean, there's just so much talent. You got to have a good pass rush if you want to get to that next tier, and those are the 2 things that I think I train in on.
Yeah, quarterback and pass rush. I mean, protecting a quarterback and getting to the other quarterback seem to be the 2 most important things. They seem to be in a pretty good place at receiver if your starting point is Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard. We'll see at tight end. Running back, they look like they're in a decent place. I don't know if there's, we've seen so many like true stars in the backfield for Alabama. I don't know if that person exists in that room right now.
It's Jam Miller, it's
Richard Young, whoever it is. Yeah.
Daniel Hill. I mean, they've got a very, very capable, and I'm probably doing them a disservice, running back room now.
And the offensive line in front of those running backs should be good to quite good. So that
should be one of the best in the country.
Yeah. And then
absolutely.
Yeah. I think there's enough back on defense, especially the back end at linebacker and in the secondary. I'm confident what they're going to look like in the middle. You're right about the pass rush. To me, it's not a talent thing, because with what they were able to do at their best last year on offense and pretty consistently on defense, they should have won more last year. And you look at the Oklahoma game, you look at the Vanderbilt game, you look at some of the losable games that they happened to win against Georgia, against South Carolina. Is Bama any closer to becoming the machine we've come to expect out of Alabama, that we don't need Kalen DeBoer pulling out games like he did last year at Alabama and the year before that, or a couple years before that at Washington? It's, if this team is more talented and this team's starting point is ahead of everybody on their schedule for the most part, why aren't we just assuming they're going to win 11 games? And so that's the question to me. It's more of a rhythm of games. It's more of a game planning on the part of Alabama. Now, the Ryan Grubb thing, that there's a shorthand between him and Kalen DeBoer, obviously, and creativity on defense, reacting to what an offense may throw at Alabama that is unusual, like what Oklahoma did last year, getting off the field when Diego Pavia keeps finding first downs. That's going to be the big thing to me, is what does the sideline look like when they have to figure out a new out pitch? And so that's my concern with Alabama. I mean, obviously the Ty Simpson thing is huge, but they're great.
He's not as mobile as Jalen Milroe because nobody's
as mobile. Yeah.
Jalen Milroe. However, I do think there's a chance he fits this offense a little bit better.
Sure.
I think he's probably going to be better at staying in the pocket. He's probably going to be better at pushing the ball downfield with more reliability. I think he's probably more accurate and less mistake prone than we saw Milroe. Milroe was always a project at the quarterback position, an incredible athlete. But I think Ty Simpson, albeit mobile in his own right, they're not going to rely on the quarterback run with him the way they did a season ago, and it's going to look a little bit more like the Kalen DeBoer / Ryan Grubb offense that we have seen at other stops. Regardless, they'll be fine because they've got 3 good options, I think, at quarterback, and they've got really smart offensive coaches. Whoever ends up starting, beginning of the season, middle of the season, end of the season.
Right.
Maybe it's the same guy, maybe it's all 3. Who knows? They will be fine at the quarterback position. I'm just curious to see how this looks on, day 1 on the road against Florida State.
Yeah, and it's, by the way, the schedule is not nothing for Alabama this year.
It isn't.
They have the mutual bye, but they travel to Georgia after playing Wisconsin, which I think should be a pretty comfortable win. But they have Vandy after that Georgia game, just like last year in that letdown spot. Last year was in Nashville, obviously. At Mizzou, Tennessee, at South Carolina in that meaty middle, mutual bye with LSU and then Oklahoma, both in Tuscaloosa, and then they're on the road for the Iron Bowl. So, real tricky schedule for Alabama if their P's and Q's aren't in order, their lowercase j's aren't dotted. So, they've got a road ahead of them, but again, I'd rather have the Alabama starting point than Florida State, Wisconsin, Vanderbilt, Mizzou, Tennessee, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Auburn, and likely LSU. But I can't fully say that with LSU because they have a proven really good quarterback.
That's right. Look, if your starting point is a incredible defense, which could be their best since 2019,
okay,
that's a pretty good place to be. There are quarterback questions. There are obvious questions that we've discussed here along the way, but the starting point is really, really good. Your headliners, again, are September 27th at Georgia, November 8th hosting LSU, both teams off a bye, of course. And then there are some others mixed in there along the way. So it's not nothing, but I think Alabama's got the ammo to make it through this thing. I'm on Bama to play for the SEC title. I'm on Bama to win the SEC title. So I'm looking at an over-under here of 9.5. For me, it's an over. That's an over.
Okay. I'm not fully there yet. If I had to pick one, I would take the over at 10-2, but not confidently. I want to see what Ty Simpson. We have not seen Ty Simpson play meaningful snaps. We have seen Arch play meaningful snaps. We haven't seen Ty Simpson play those. He's played, but not in any sort of significant way. So I want to see what he looks like because the best of Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb together is Michael Penix as a top 10 pick throwing to top round caliber receivers. 3 of them. Alabama does not have 3 of them, obviously, right now. They might have 1.5, probably just 1 in Ryan Williams. So there's a lot to grow into for this Alabama offense.